Hello students, in this class we will discuss and learn about one of the types of business entities called joint stock company. A joint stock company is emerges from the limitations of a partnership business. How the partnership business emerges from the limitations of entrepreneurship, the joint stock company or business organization is also emerges from the limitations of partnership business, such as unlimited liability, joint liability, huge capital to bring to the business, uncertainty, and other type of limitations or disadvantages of partnership. Due to all these the limitations, the joint stock company has came into existence. So the main principle of this joint stock company is to provide the opportunity to even to the common man to participate in the business in order to get some returns from the business. In case of partnership business, the size of capital to invest in the business is more compared to the joint stock company, because in joint stock company even the person has 1000 rupees or 500 rupees, he is able to invest or eligible to invest in the business in case of joint stock company. So here this is one of the advantage or opportunity giving to the even common man who is ready to invest in the business in order to get the fair returns from the organization. So here the business will run with a huge capital, and this capital may be pulled from the different or more number of people in a small units, in terms of small units. Here the units means the share. The system of joint stock company has been very useful for the large undertakings which requires huge capital. Here the capital or the stock is classified into the small units, where the unit is known as a share. It means that the total capital is classified or divided into the small shares, and this share has some value, that is 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 and so on. Based on the goodwill of the company, based on the nature of the company, based on the scale of the operations that is going to conduct in the future, the capital is required to the business. Here the entire capital is classified into the shares, and the each share has some value that is called as share value. The price of each share is kept very low that even a common man can find it uncomfortable to pick it up. That is, even you have 100 rupees in your hand, you are eligible to invest in a joint stock company. So here a company has been a centuries old concept. It is not the new. It is not the new. It is a centuries old concept. Since olden days it is existed in the market, and one of the few companies is the history of the East India Company, chartered company, which came into existence by the Royal Chartered. Some companies that have been in existence before enactment of Indian Companies Act 1956, all these companies are called as old companies. Now let us see the various definitions are given by the different people and acts for the joint stock company. Here a company means, or the joint stock company means, an association of many persons who contribute money or money's worth to a common stock and employ it for a common purpose. According to Lord Justice Finlay, joint stock company defined as it is an association of many persons. It is not a few persons but many persons who contribute money or money's worth. Money in terms of capital, that is in terms of liquid asset, or money's worth, not only in terms of cash, also in terms of money's worth means assets like land, buildings, machinery, technology, or equivalent knowledge, equivalent intelligence, equivalent ideas. So all these are also comes under the capital, that is intangible capital, to a common stock and employ it for a common purpose. All these are, we are investing in the business for a common purpose. It is not for the purpose of the single person in joint stock company, but it is for the common purpose of all the people who are investing in the business. The second definition of the joint stock company, which is given Section 3, subsection 1 of Companies Act 1956, a company as company formed and registered under the Act or an existing company. This definition has given by the Companies Act 1956 in Section 3, subsection 1. Simply, a company is an association of many persons or the more people which can work under the eyes of law with common seal and perpetual succession is known as joint stock company. Here the company is working under the eyes of law or acts which has some value, which work with which has some seal, and it is a perpetual succession. There is no end for these companies, unlike partnership and entrepreneurship. In case of entrepreneurship, if anything happened to the owner of the business or entrepreneur, the business may closed. Or in case of partnership, if the people are not interested to run the business, then based on the decision interest of the partners, the partnership business may dissolved. But whereas in case of this joint stock company, until and unless the financial institutions or any government authorities taking decisions in these joint stock companies, this company will continue for a long period. There is no end for this joint stock company. And we will take another definition for the joint stock company, that is, a joint stock company is described as voluntary association. There is no force to join in the business. Voluntary association, the people will come voluntarily to join in the business. Voluntary association of persons recognized by law, having distinct name. Here the name is unique, distinct name. This is not based on the interest of the partner, interest of the investors. This is a distinct name. It has some common seal. As we discussed, it is working under the eyes of law. It is an artificial person which is created by law. So it does not have any, it does not sign anywhere on the document, it does not go anywhere, and it does not do anything, but it has some common seal with the name of the company, that is nothing but stamp, and formed to carry on business. Whatever the joint stock company formed with different persons or association of many people will do some business, whether it is a production, manufacturing, or service, or any other activities for profit, for making profit. Whatever the business, whatever the activities that are doing in joint stock company will make profit. In that way, we need to conduct the business activities with the capital divisible into transferable shares. So the capital or the stock which is required to the business is dividing into the transferable shares. Transferable shares means here the shares of this company may transfer from one person to another person without more restrictions. Here there are possibilities to transfer the shares in case of government company, but if it is a private company, there is some restrictions to transfer the shares from one person to another person, and there is a limited liability. The responsibility of the liability of the person investor in case of joint stock company is limited, unlike a partnership business and entrepreneurship business. And corporate body and perpetual succession. Perpetual succession means here the company will continue for a long period. Many people are coming into the business and may go from the business. Many people enter into the business and people will exit from the business, but the company will be there in the market which will continue for a long period. The investors may come into the business or go out from the business. That is perpetual succession. So this is one of the important definition need to understand. If you are able to understand this definition, then it is possible to take or write the features of a joint stock company. Let us see once again the definition of joint stock company. Joint stock company is described as a voluntary association of persons recognized by the law, having a distinct name, a common seal, formed to carry on business activities for the profit, with the capital divisible into transferable shares, limited liability, corporate body, and perpetual succession is known as joint stock company. So here there are drastic changes in the field of production, distribution, and various marketing activities of any business, particularly after industrial revolution necessitated large or huge amount of capital is required to invest and needed better managerial skills. Therefore, a company type of capitalized organization filled up this gap perfectly. Here, there are many people, unlike partnership and entrepreneurship, in joint stock company there are many people. So the required capital is available, huge capital is available, large amount of sources of capital is available in case of joint stock company. As well, we required managerial skills more in order to overcome the problems at the present market. So as many people are coming into the business with different ideas, different knowledge, different skills, so managing the activities in this joint stock company is very easy. So here therefore the joint stock company is filling the gap in the market, that is providing huge capital as well having some managerial skills with the investors who are coming into the business. The joint stock companies have been a powerful and efficient engine of production, effective medium of for the supply of larger amount of capital to the trade and as well as the industry also. So here in simple words, joint stock company means a company which is created and working under the eyes of law with the common seal and also with perpetual succession is known as joint stock company. Perpetual succession and common seal are the special features of the joint stock company or the company. Unlike partnership and entrepreneurship, here entrepreneurship is a instability. It will not be continued for a long period if anything happened to the entrepreneur. Partnership, is there any disturbances or misunderstanding between the partners, the company may dilute it. But here perpetual succession is the special character or feature of joint stock company. And common seal is also one of the special feature or characteristic of a business. Here, in case of entrepreneurship, the entrepreneur can sign, entrepreneur can bring the documents, entrepreneur can do anything behalf of the business. Whereas in case of partnership, the people will do. But whereas in case of joint stock company, here instead of signing, they will keep the stamp or the common seal behalf of all the people in the business. So here the company has a Latin origin. This is a Latin word where come means coming together or come together. Pani means breed. Joint stock company means people come together to earn their livelihood by investing in the stock of a company jointly. So here this is about the definition of joint stock company. There are many companies in India like Indian Oil Corporation, Tata Motors Limited, Reliance Industries and the State Bank of India. They are the four biggest joint stock companies in India. Now let us see what are the different features of joint stock company which differentiate partnership business and the entrepreneurship business. Based on the definitions given by various people and companies acts, we find these features for the joint stock company, that is artificial person, separate legal existence, voluntary association, limited liability, capital is divided into shares, transferability of shares, common seal, perpetual succession, ownership and management separated, winding up of the company, name of the company ends with the word limited, whether it is private limited or public limited. So they are the features of joint stock company. Let us see one by one the features of the companies. First one is the artificial person. It is a very special feature of joint stock company, that is artificial person. The company has no form or no shape. It is an artificial person which is created and working under the eyes of law. Means it is intangible, invisible, but existed only in the eyes of law. According to the acts, according to the corporate law, according to the Companies Acts 1956 or 2013, the company will work in the market. There is no other persons to change these rules and regulations except the government authorities. Hence, it is artificial person which cannot move from here and there, which cannot sign on the paper, which cannot take any part, take any capital. Right? The second one is separate legal existence. So here the partnership business and entrepreneurship can not have the separate legal existence, but the joint stock company has separate legal existence. It has an independent existence. It is separate from its members. There is no relation between the company and the investors investing in the business. It is separate from the investors. It can acquire the capital whenever the capital is required. It can borrow the funds from the financial institutions whenever it is required. It can do the organizational activities whenever it is required. Even it can sue others if they are in default in payment of dues and breach of contract with it, if any. Anything can done by the name of the company or with the seal of the company only. Therefore, it has a separate legal existence. If there is no the seal or the stamp of the company on the document or paper, it is not valid anywhere. And the next one is voluntary association of persons. Yes, here there is no force any investor or any person to invest in the business joint stock company. Voluntarily the people are coming into the business, entering into the joint stock company in order to making profit for the business. It is not only the profit for the business, also profit for the people who are entering into the business. So the company is an association of voluntary persons, association of persons who want to carry the business for the profits. To carry the business, they need capital. So they invest in the share of capital of the company. They will work together. They will provide suggestions. They will give suggestions. They will give suggestions at the time of taking the important decisions. So here, all the people are working in joint stock company voluntarily. There is no force to work in the business. And the next one is limited liability. Yes, in case of entrepreneurship, there is unlimited liability. So the entrepreneur need to take the total responsible for the liabilities of the business. Whereas entrepreneurship also have some unlimited liability. But whereas in case of joint stock company, the shareholders have the limited liability. That is, the liability responsible only limited to the extent of the face value of the shares held by the persons. For example, here they have invested 1 lakh rupees. They have invested rupees 1 lakh in the business by purchasing 1000 shares. 1000 shares. Here 1000 shares means each share is at 100 rupees, that equal to 1 lakh rupees. In this case, they have invested only for the worth of 1 lakh rupees. 1 lakh rupees, that is for 100 rupees share value, that is 1000 shares. He is liable or he is responsible for only the losses worth of 1000 shares. For example, here there are 2000 shares at the rate of 100 rupees. The total capital of the company is 2 lakhs rupees. 2 lakhs rupees. There are two people, that is A and B. There are two people A, B. Here A has invested, A has purchased 1000 shares at 100 rupees, that equal to 1 lakh rupees, providing to the business. And B also purchased 100 shares at 100 rupees per share, that is equal to 1 lakh rupees. Total 2 lakhs rupees. Now at the time of taking the responsible for the liability, here these people are investing 50%. and B also 50% capital is investing in the business. At the time of taking the responsibility of liability in the business is also only 50% of the losses or 50% of the liability can take by B as well as A also. So how much they are investing in the business, for that ratio only they are responsible in terms of liability. That is what called limited liability. These people are not responsible for other than the ratio or proportionate of this capital. So here the shareholders need to pay anything even in times of loss, need not to pay anything even in times of losses for the company other than his contribution to the share capital. This is one of the advantage to the shareholders in the business. Here he has invested only worth of 1 lakh rupees. He is responsible only for 50% of the losses. He has invested 50% capital and A also responsible for only 50% of the losses. So based on this ratio, the responsibility of the liability can be shared among the shareholders of the business. The next one is capital is dividing into the shares. Yes. Here whatever the capital is required, required to the business, the total capital is dividing into the small units. For example, here there is a company called A Limited Company, which requires 20 lakhs rupees, in terms of capital. So here this 20 lakhs rupees capital is dividing into the shares. For example, here 2 lakhs shares. So here if you are dividing the total capital into the 2 lakhs shares, the share value of the company is 10 rupees. The share value of the company is 10 rupees. So here the capital dividing into the shares means the main principle of this joint stock company is that provide or giving the opportunity to even to the common person who are earning a small income or lower income. This joint stock company giving opportunities to even the lower level income people. So here the share value is 10 rupees in this A Limited. Now if there is a person called A B in the market, Mr. B in the market, whose income level is 1000 rupees. He is ready to invest in A Limited Company worth of 1000 rupees. Now he is eligible for 100 shares. He is eligible for 100 rupees. 100 shares into 10 rupees per share equal to 1000 rupees. Even he has 1000 rupees in his hand, he is eligible to purchase the shares in A Limited Company worth of 100 shares. When the capital is dividing into the share, when the capital is dividing into the units, then that will give the opportunity to even the common people who are earning the lower income. This is one of the main intention of joint stock company, that providing opportunity to even the common people. So 10 rupees is the face value of the share. Here 2 lakhs are the small units of capital called share, capital of the share. So here these are the terms that we need to understand. What is share? What is the share value? Share is a small unit of the total capital. Share value is the face value of that small unit is known as the share value. So the capital is dividing into the shares in the joint stock company to provide an opportunity to even the common people who are ready to invest in the business. The next one is transferability of shares. As here there is a possibility to transfer the shares from one person to another person, unlike a partnership business and entrepreneur. Of course, there is no possibilities to transfer in case of entrepreneurship, but whereas in case of partnership there is no possibilities. There are more restrictions to transfer the shares from one person to another person. So in the company form of organization, the shares can be transferred from one person to another person, there is a possibilities, and there is a freedom to the shareholder to share the shares from one person to another persons. So here this is also based on the nature of business. There are two types of companies actually, that is a public limited company and a private limited company. Public limited company and a private limited company. In case of public limited company, there is a possibilities to share the transfer the shares from one person to another person. There is a freedom to transfer from one person to another person. Here there are some restrictions to transfer the shares from one person to another person. In case of public limited company, there is a possibilities to transfer the shares from one person to another person, whereas in case of private limited company, there are some restrictions to transfer the shares from one person to another person. So based on the nature of the company, this feature will be applicable. The next one is a common seal. Yes, this is one of the special feature of joint stock company or company form of organization, common seal. As we discussed, this joint stock company is creating and working under the eyes of law. Creating and working under the eyes of law. As the company is an artificial person which is created by law, here it does not have any physical form and it cannot sign its name on the paper. But the company can use the seal. Company can use the seal on which its name is engraved. There is a seal in which its name is engraved on the stamp that can be used by this company to sign on the paper. Without this common seal, without this seal, without this stamp, there is no value for any document which is related to the company's transaction. This is one of the special feature of joint stock company. The next one is perpetual succession. See, in case of entrepreneurship, if anything happened to the entrepreneur, there is no continuity entrepreneurship business. Whereas in case of partnership business, if there is no mutual understanding, there is a conflicts between the partners, then there is no continuity in partnership business. But whereas in case of a joint stock company, members may come and members may go, but the company continues forever and ever. A company has a uninterrupted existence because of the right given to the shareholders to transfer the shares. If anybody want to leave the organization or the company, then their shares may transfer from one person to another person. But here the investors or the shareholders may leave from the organization, but the company cannot. The company will be continued for a long period. If one person or shareholders leaving means they will sell their shares to another person who is coming into the business as a new investor or the shareholder, or their shares may sell to the existing shareholders in the same business, but the company will continue for a long period. Then ownership and management are separated. Unlike entrepreneurship and partnership business, in the joint stock company, the ownership and management are separated. Here the shareholders of the company are coming from different corners of the country, different corners of the state and different corners of the areas, and all the people may not participate actively in the activities of the business. Hence here the solution for this problem is all these shareholders may elect some people as some shareholders as a board of directors to manage all the activities in the business. Example, here there are 20,000 shares. There is a company called A Limited, where the total capital is divided into the 20 shares at 100 rupees per share. And here in this case there is a condition that if any shareholder can purchase 5,000 shares from the business, may have right to elect the board of directors, or they may eligible for elect the board of directors. If any investor or shareholders satisfy this condition, then those people only have a right to elect the board of directors. And the board of directors who has elected by the shareholders may have a right to recruit the employees and the managers for the remaining departments or the sections in order to run the business activities. Therefore, the ownership is different. Here, who are the owners of the company? All the shareholders of the company are called as the owners of the company, and management means the people who are elected by the shareholders is known as managers. These two are separated in the joint stock company. And coming to the winding up, so here there is a possibilities to winding up or close the business in the market. Winding up refers to the putting up an end to the company, because it is created by law. It is created by law. It is working under the eyes of law. It cannot be closed. It cannot be shut down by themselves, by itself. So here only law can put an end to it in special circumstances, such as representatives from the creditors or the financial institutions or the shareholders against the company, that their interests are not safeguarded. If the shareholders or the financial institutions who are providing financial assistance to the business may file a case that their interest is not safeguarded, then the authorities may take the decisions for winding up the business. The company is not affected by the death or insolvency of any of its members in the joint stock company, shareholders of the company. In case of entrepreneurship, if the owner of the business die or or anything happen, then automatically the company will be closed. Whereas partnership, any person death or insolved, that company may dissolve. But whereas in case of joint stock company, here it is not affected. Any person will leave from the organization company, or any person die or shareholders die in the company, it cannot be affected the joint stock company. It will be continued unless there is a representation from the financial institutions or all the shareholders of the company. Then the next one is name of the company ends with limited. This is also one of the special feature. So the joint stock company or company form of organization names must end with the limited. That is, for example, if it is a government company, public limited company, public limited company. If it is a private limited company. So here the limited, the word limited disclose us the companies belongs to government or the private person. If it is a government company, the name of the company ends with the limited company. If it is a private company, the name of the company ends with the private limited company. Example, there are two people who have started the business. A and B started a business, that is AB and company. AB and company. This is a private company. So this company name must ends with AB private limited company. AB private PVT limited company. This is called private company. If there is no word called private in the name of the company, that is known as public company or government company. All the government companies names end with the limited company, all the private companies names with the private limited company. This is the difference between, or this word differentiate public and private limited companies. This is also one of the feature of a joint stock company. And another one is number of persons. So based on the nature of business, whether it is a public limited company or the private limited company, the number of persons may vary. The number of persons or the number of shareholders of the company may vary from company to company, business to business. Let us take here, there are two types of companies, that is a public company and a private company. Public limited, private limited. So here, respect to the number of persons, minimum number of persons required for the public limited, minimum number of persons, minimum number of persons 7 in case of public limited. Here the private limited company 2 is enough to start private limited company, and a maximum number of persons, in case of public limited unlimited. Here in case of private limited company 50, right? So based on these numbers, we can also identify whether it is public limited company or private limited company. So there is a restrictions in a private limited company to take as shareholders to 50, whereas in case of public limited company there is no restrictions to in respect to the maximum number of persons, but the minimum number of persons should be the 7. In case of private limited company, the minimum number of persons are 2. So they are the some of the features of joint stock company, that is artificial person, separate legal existence, voluntary association of persons, limited liability, capital is divided into the shares, transferability of shares, common seal, perpetual succession, ownership and management separated, winding up, name of the company ends with the limited, and the number of persons. Based on the nature of the company, we may find different features. Based on the features, we can recognize or identify whether it is a private limited company or public limited company or any other form of company. So this is about the features of joint stock company. So until now we have seen the definitions, features of a joint stock company. Now let us understand what are the different advantages of joint stock company. So these are the some of the advantages of joint stock company, such as mobilization of large resources, separate legal entity, limited liability, transferability of shares, liquidity of investments, inculcates the habit of savings, democracy in management, continued in existence, and growth and expansion. So these are the most important advantages of joint stock company. Now let us see one by one advantages. The first one is joint stock company. Joint stock company, that is mobilization of large resources. So here in case of joint stock company, the shareholders are coming from the different corners of the state, different corners of the country. There is no restrictions there is no geographical restrictions to join or participate in the business or invest in the business. So joint stock company provides an opportunities to the investors to invest even the small sums in the capital of large companies. This facilitates rising of larger resources in case of joint stock company. Even the company required rupees 1 crore rupees, 1 crore rupees, and this 1 crore rupees business also giving an opportunity to the common people to invest in that business. Therefore, many people are show some interest to invest in the business, right? So in this way, there is a possibilities to mobilize the large resources in for the joint stock company. The second one is separate legal entity. The company has separate legal entity because it is registered under the Companies Acts, under the Indian Companies Act 1956 or 2013. Therefore, it has a separate legal entity. There is no right to the shareholders to close down the business or to do any business, because the joint stock company has some legal entity. As it is an artificial person, it can do anything. It can purchase the machinery, purchase the land, purchase the assets. It can borrow the capital or borrow the funds from the financial institutions. It can do anything because of a separate legal entity. The next one is limited liability. So this is also one of the important advantage of joint stock company. The shareholders has a limited liability in case of joint stock company. So based on the percentage of the shares held by the shareholders, the responsibility of the liability will be varied. If he has held 10% of the total capital or the total share, he is responsible only for the 10% of liability. 10% of liability. He is not responsible. He is not the responsible for the remaining 90% of the liability of the company. If B has held 20% of the total capital and he is responsible for only the 20% of the liabilities, and Mr. C has 30% of the capital shares, then he is responsible only for the 30% of the liability incurred in the losses, liability of the companies. Means that here the limited liability means how much shares, how much capital, or how much share value held by the shareholders, that much percentage only he is liable or responsible for the liabilities of the business. The next one is transferability of shares. So there is a possibilities to transfer the shares from one person to another person. The shares can be transferred to the others. However, in case of private companies, the shareholders cannot be transferred. There are some restrictions to transfer the shares from one person to another person. But whereas in case of public limited company, there is a freedom to the shareholders to transfer the shares from one person to another person. The next one is the liquidity of investments. By providing the transferability of the shares, shares can be converted into the cash, that is the liquid asset. That is possible in case of joint stock company. And next one is inculcates the habit of savings. Yes, this is one of the major important advantage, major advantage of a joint stock company in the market, unlike proprietorship and entrepreneurship businesses, because the share face value is very low, and it promotes the habits of the savings among the common man, and which leads to mobilizes a large amount of resources. As the share value is very low, for example here 1 crore 1 crore capital, 1 crore capital dividing into 1 lakh shares, then automatically the face value of this share is come down. So this is available for the common man also. So it mobilizes the habits of savings to the shareholders of the common man. It inculcates the habit of the savings of the shareholders. The next one is democracy in management. So democracy in management. The directors are elected by the shareholders of the company, in this case of joint stock company, in democratic way. And these people, these directors are elected by the shareholders of the company in democratic way, and these board of directors are responsible for all the shareholders of the company. So whenever, when and where they will ask or raise the questions or the issues in general body meeting, the board of directors should respond to the shareholders in order to satisfy them. So this is, in this way the board of directors can elect by the shareholders of the company. There is a democracy in management. There is a freedom to the shareholders to elect the board of directors. There is no restrictions. There is no any restrictions or force to elect the board of directors. It is purely in democratic way. The next one is continued in existence. Yes, here the joint stock company will continue forever and ever as long as possible, because it is not decision taken by the people who are investing in the business, because it is a legal entity which is created by law, which is working under the eyes of law, unlike a partnership business and the entrepreneurship business. The company has perpetual succession. It has no natural end. It continues forever and ever unless law puts an end to the business. Otherwise, it will be continued. The next one is growth and expansion. Growth and expansion. With the large resources and professional management, the company can earn good returns on its operations and build good amount of reserves, and further consider the proposals for growth and expansion. As there is a large resources available, automatically there is a possibilities to conduct large scale operations in the business. Accordingly, they will increase the growth of the business in order to expand the operations of the business or joint stock company. So they are the some of the advantages of joint stock company. Now let us see the disadvantages of joint stock company, like entrepreneurship, partnership business. The joint stock company has also some disadvantages or demerits. So they are the some of the demerits or disadvantages of joint stock company, such as formation of a company is a long drawn procedure, high degree of government interference, delay in decision making, lack of initiative, lack of responsibility and commitment, conflicting interest, tends to monopoly, higher rate of interest, taxes, or higher the taxes. They are the disadvantages of joint stock company. Now let us see one by one how these are disadvantages to the joint stock company. The first one is formation of company is a long term procedure. This is the first disadvantage or a major disadvantage of a joint stock company at the time of initiating or starting. So here, promoting the joint stock company involves a long procedure. It is not that much as simple like entrepreneurship or partnership business. It is also very expensive and which involves large number of legal formalities. If in case of entrepreneurship, need not to fulfill more and more formalities to start the business. That is easy to start and easy to close. Whereas in case of partnership, little more than the entrepreneurship, but very less than the joint stock company. But whereas in case of joint stock company, it is a purely legal entity. Therefore, it requires to fulfill all the formalities of corporate law or according to the acts. Hence, it will take some time to start the business. It will leads to delay to start the joint stock company. This is one of the major disadvantage of joint stock company at initial stages. Then the second one is high degree of government interference. The government brings out a number of rules and regulations, terms and conditions governing the internal conduct of the operations of the company, such as meetings, votings, audit, and all other formalities are the rules and regulations. And any violation of these rules and regulations or terms and conditions results into the statutory lapses punishable under the Companies Act 1956 or 2013. So here, every time government used to change the rules and regulations whenever, where and when it is required, they will try to include the rules, new rules according to the changes in the market, trends in the markets, according to the competitors in the market. So based on the economy of the country, economy of the state, there may be a changes in the acts, companies acts. Accordingly, the joint stock company also need to follow all the rules. So that is one of the disadvantage for the joint stock company. If any violation of these rules and regulations, immediately the authorities will take an action, punish the company. The next one is delay in decision making. Yes, in case of entrepreneur, there is only one person who will start the business, manage the business, own the business, control the business, take the decisions, implement the decisions immediately. Everything will be done by one. There is no problems. Whereas in case of partners, very few people are there in the partnership business to take the decisions and implement in business. But whereas in case of joint stock company, there may be a delay in decision making. As the size of the organization is grows, the number of levels of the organization will also grow. As the number of levels of an organization is growing, automatically there is a problem in decision making. Due to lack of communication, lack of coordination, lack of any reason, whatever the reason it is, there may be a delay in decision making. The more the number of levels, automatically the more is a delay in decision making. Sometimes so-called professionals do not respond for the decisions that are taken by the board of directors. So here the levels of this business is dividing as per the specialization. Sometimes these specialized people, expertised persons may not respond to the board of directors or the managers of the business. Automatically, so there may be a delay in decision making. The next one is lack of initiative. Lack of initiative. In most of the cases, the employees of the company at different levels show slack in their personal initiative with the result. The opportunities once missed do not recur and the company loses the revenue also. So if there is no initiative of the employees, if the employees are not taking initiation to work together, work themselves, automatically that will affect on the revenue of the company. This is also one of the disadvantage or demerit of joint stock company. This is because the operations of the organization is increased, the levels of the organization is increased, so they may not monitor the employees where they are working, right? So automatically the people may not work effectively because there is no close monitoring by the managers in the business. This is also one of the disadvantage. Then the lack of responsibility and commitment. See, in some cases, the management at different levels are afraid to take the decisions, afraid about the risk of the business. So the at some in these cases at that time here, lack of responsibility, automatically it will leads to the losses. Where the managers do not show up a willingness to take the responsibility, they cannot be considered as a committed. Automatically they will not be able to handle the business risk. If the manager fear about the risk in the business, automatically that leads to irresponsible of the managers, automatically that will leads to risk or losses to the business. That is also the disadvantage. The next one is conflicting the interest. Yes, so this may happen in joint stock companies. See, the company has a divergent group of people associated with it. So the shareholders may expect or want maximum dividends, maximum returns from the stock company, joint stock company. But here the company may expect results more. So there may be a conflict between the shareholders and the company. Company is expecting the results more as well, reinvest or retain the profits in the business. But here, in other hand, the shareholders of the company may expect maximum dividends from the company. So automatically there is a conflict between the shareholders and the company. Automatically that will leads to problems of the risk in the business. That is also one of the disadvantage of the business. And the next one is tend to monopoly. Tend to monopoly. So according to this factor, so how the company is increasing more and more, automatically the operations of the company will also increase. When the operations of the company is increasing, automatically they will try to fix the price of the product is high. So they will try to enjoy the monopoly markets, the monopoly market. They will try to fix the price very high, which is not reachable to the common man. So automatically that leads to the loss. Whenever the price is high for the products and services, the common man or the middle level people may not able to purchase, take the services from the company. Automatically there is no demand for the products and services, that leads to the losses. So this may happen in case of joint stock company. How the organizational operations are increasing, automatically they will try to enjoy the monopoly markets. So this is also one of the disadvantage of the joint stock company. And the next one is higher the taxes. When compared to the entrepreneurship and the partnership business, here the rate of income tax is very high. How the income level of the joint stock company is increasing, similarly proportionately the rate of income tax will also increase. This is also one of the disadvantage of the joint stock company. So dear students, these are the some of the disadvantages of joint stock company. When compared to the advantages, a very few disadvantages are there, but we should take care at the time of taking the decisions in investments in various joint stock companies. So this is about the disadvantages of joint stock company. So my dear students, despite of all these disadvantages of joint stock company, the joint stock company is suitable where the large resources are available, where there is a growth and expansion, where there is a need for government control and interference, and there is a need for large funds and a high degree of specialization. The joint stock company is suitable. Okay, thank you.